respect. I mean, that's what this program is about, because when individuals, they don't even want to even, I posted on Facebook, I show them that there's hope in the eyes of individuals with photos of individuals in a collage that my nephew, Anthony Wickham Board, he did a collage of people that I've talked to about cooperative economics. That's the first part of teaching the cooperative experience of W.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Fannie Lou Hamer. They said you cannot institute cooperative economics without going into those areas and teaching them what cooperative economics is about. So I'm over in those areas on a daily basis. And my nephew, Anthony, he put together a collage of people at Creighton Court, Wayne Webster, everybody that's involved. My boy Al Wood is involved, and they have hope in their heart, in their eyes, of their own having ownership. They recognize that the money that dudes are losing their lives for is pennies compared to the money that's going on in beauty supply. It's pennies compared to the money that's going. The beauty supply industry is a $703 billion industry. And they're talking about the supermarket wars. I mean, we have to do a market first, because we don't have one supermarket, but we spend $1 trillion. So, pin in the tail is that up to this point, young people that I want to represent, ones that's in Wickham Court, Creighton Court, Fairfield Court, or those that have the concern and the heart for the suffering, whether it's at the 9th Street bus, it's something. I mean, I put it out there, people put likes, but we should be commenting about how horrible it is. These are Christians, Muslims, and Jews that are poor people dealing with disabilities, but we look the other way. But when we are summoned, where's my other sign? I have one more sign. Chaco Bar sign. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, brother. One of the producers came in. Appreciate it. But then we're going to have time. We're going to have time. None of these are issues. I bring these up. None of these are issues. But now, individuals want to have time to be able to deal with, I'm going to put this right here. We got to go back over this again. Thought this was dead. Because the mayor, Dwight Jones, in a disrespectful way, with all the monies and all that was involved with the Shockoe Bottom statement, the only issue, the biggest issue, a lot of people say, oh yeah, it's not a rah-rah about the development of the Shockoe Bottom. The biggest issue that we have is being spearheaded by Dr. Kim Allen and a couple other individuals that's involved with a group, is about the archaeological findings first. Being able to go through there and do the archaeological findings to be able to remove the bones and have them taken care of in museums or things of that nature. That was the biggest issue relative to that. And that's disrespectful. I told a story that I was watching National Geographic, and there were elephants that were on trek for water, and they said that they have to travel 1,000 miles sometimes to get water. And there was a group of them, 18 to 20 of them. And the commentator said that they seemed to be that they were lost a little bit. Even so, they walked up and saw the remains or the carcasses of elephants that had passed before them. They walked up and saw the bones. And immediately, when they saw the carcasses of the bones of those that are of their species, immediately the commentator said that they got nervous and they seemed startled. And they stopped on their trek for water. And at first they just were nervous and were just, the young ones were especially nervous until the lead elephant, which was a female, took the initiative and went up to the bone and took her trunk and started to caress the bones. It was amazing. They said that the elephant does it out of respect. So then the other elephants started not to be as startled, and all of them, they took a 30-minute break and they paid homage and caressed in a respectful way the bones before they moved on. And the commentator also said that elephants, their nature is similar to human beings, not just about their memory, but he said when it comes to the feeling of loss. But we're dealing with a mayor, Dwight C. Jones, that's also the lead preacher here in Richmond, Virginia. I would say he is, because I haven't heard any other preacher say anything about any of the things that's going on here in Richmond. That's why I said, down at the 9th Street bus station, they're mostly Christians down there. But we have all of these preachers, but I guess in their mind, they say they're not my members. My members drive to church. There's no collective concern religiously about what's going on down there at 9th Street Bus Depot. They won't even make a comment unless the mayor commissioned them to do so. And I have to say, Clovia Lawrence she was hush-mouth about the issue about the stadium. All the way up to about 3 or 4 days ago, when she put on Facebook that she's for it, and said she was in awe that she saw the video of how it's going to look. Who else saw it? City Council haven't seen it. They haven't released it to the public. And now she feel like, it's not by coincidence that she's going to the barbershop. As we speak, she's over there at the barbershop trying to get some type of community support for the ballpark issue. It's not by coincidence. Radio One, King Tut, all the other ones, they're not talking about any of the community service issues that's going on. Those issues aren't brought up unless there's some type of power to say, hold up, I need some help. Because in this disrespectful way, when he waited all the way till the last minute, like 2 or 3 minutes to 6, because the council was getting ready to vote down the ballpark and killed it forever. He waited till all the way up to the last 2 minutes before 6 with all of us up there. And then he put a proposal. But now what he's doing, he's trying to season these low-income areas like Northside that he really don't care nothing about. But he needs you, Clovia. He needs you. And I already know there's going to be some on the other side. But when it comes to this stadium, when you choose your side, I'm going to choose mine. I'm going to choose my side because I'm with those that are suffering. And I'm not going to take a title if I'm not an individual that is aspiring to live by the function of that title. So stop the killing, Penn and Teal. For the last 50 years, it says that we lost 60% of our wealth, but in actuality, this right here being true, we spent 1.2 trillion, circulates less than 0.1 time. Guess what? We lost 90-some% of our economic wealth. We don't have anything that's going on. We're consumers and employees because of the best of us. And when it comes to this 50-year period, let me sum it up. This 50-year period in which we've lost all of our economic wealth, all of the businesses were either shut down or either sold in the black community. Understand, young people, when they want to try to blame you, your parents, and rap music, that you haven't been driving this bus, I'm going to call it a bus this week. It's called African Americans here. You haven't been driving a bus. Rap music haven't been driving that bus for the last 50 years. And we're the ones responsible for selling all of the businesses and supporting all of the other businesses besides ours. So up to this point, see, that's one of the things that I know is that whether you're right or whether you're wrong, guess what? You have to justify your position. And when it comes to the most educated and powerful of us, like the mayor, and C.T. Woody, and Byron Marshall, and Hearn, in which I've talked to Hearn about this idea, about this is a proactive idea when it comes to stopping the killing. I told him that the individual, they signed my truck. I'm riding around in my Navigator for all of those that support the idea of their own cooperative marketplace. They're signed up on my truck for right now until we're able to put together the committee of people to be able to take care of that. And I showed her about a proactive. This is a proactive. Why do we have to be reactive? Wait till after the murder is committed. And I say to the young people over there that Charles Willis and Alicia Raisin, as far as I'm concerned, they're government, they're not government, they're city agents for the mayor. Want to go out there reactively and have vigil. But you understand that I've given away 300 of my business cards in those areas. And I told them when something happened, take my card to them. If they want to know why crime is perpetuated, why there's been a degradation, and not just the communities here in Richmond, but this is the same thing that's going on all over the country. We're talking about stop the killing in Chicago. You best believe new immigrants, they're running all of the convenience stores, beauty supply stores, fish markets. This being true, and all I'm saying is that we should compete with them. This isn't asking about a handout. This is about a hand up, because we're talking about one-time funding. The people are already ready for it. So we're talking about one-time funding to be able to get it started, whether it's 300, whether it's 400,000. Please, somebody call me. And the key with this is being able to employ the same methodology that President Barack Obama used in 2008 and 2012 to be elected and re-elected. He knew the importance of the entertainer, sports stars, and musicians, because the most educated of us are consumers and employees only. 1 out of 2 of your husbands that have degrees, they're unemployed. And most of them that I met that were married, their husbands were unemployed. A lot of the other educated women can't find a man to save their life. But I understand the reason why. 1 out of 2 are being arrested. And it's not alarming to you when you have your mimosas, the sororities, on the weekend, the Jefferson, short pump. These issues aren't an issue. But then I put on the TV, if I'm watching the TV, and it's the ASPCA commercial come on, then it's, oh, I can't look at that, change the channel. But I'm telling you, we need a commercial similar to that. But first of all, pointing out the truth, that it hasn't been the fault of young people, their poor parents, or rap music. The most affluent of us, the leadership, those that claim leadership for the last 20, 30, and 40 years, they've been guiding the bus. But guess what? We're a people, a Catonic people, that it's almost like, because these educated ones understand, and a lot of those that are religious, that I grew up with, see, religion didn't separate us when we were growing up. But now, since we supposedly mature, and you have a certain religion, if I tell certain truth relative to religion, now you have a problem with me. But I'm telling you, relative to this 278,000 and the $1 trillion, and me realizing now, and me understanding the importance, please understand the importance that no economics can sustain itself if you don't have communities. These educated ones, they've already went out to the Chesterfield, Henrico, go ahead. Because they already put in the paper, they got those quota systems. And they don't, there's no differentiation in your children of them knowing that they're affluent, that they belong to you. And the ones that they see after a murder over in Wookham Court, and they got the quotas over there, you think that you have, I mean, because of our title, because of the accomplishments or laurel in a degree that we have. I'm here to tell you that it's time for us to take the degree off of the wall and let's put it in the hearts of our young people. How can we be involved with colleges and then allow HBCUs all over the country to fail? St. John's College, people's alumni, to just go bankrupt. But we can be involved in predicate positions with VCU. We can be individuals that come from Hampton University. Dr. Harvey, with the economic development that he's doing in Hampton, that's similar to what's going on here with VCU. You come from that college, but you're not industrious. A lot of times you lazy as hell when it comes to these issues because they don't respond to the 1 out of 2. But we can be in predicate positions, the provost of the VCU, to the extent of to the extent that for the last 20, 30 years, you've been a part and helped build them to being the #1 employee in Richmond, Virginia today. So much so that they named buildings after you, or a building. But then, talk to you about using those abilities that you've used for VCU with Virginia Union University. I mean, but everybody are consumers and employees. Nobody's involved in that. But we're people that are Christians that believe in the parable of the talents, where God gave one talent, one 5 talent, one 10 talent, and went on a far trip and told him to go to market with your talents. And the one that had 10, he came back, he had 20. The one that had 5, he doubled his to 10. The one that had 1 talent was so scared that he buried it in the ground. And he didn't give him those talents to go and buy suits and get jobs. It was about being industrious. But the one that came back with 1 talent, God was so disappointed with him. He said, "You wicked servant. Give me your 1 talent. I'm going to give it to the one that had 10. They doubled it to 20. But we read those books. We read Genesis, where God said, when he created man in his image and his likeness, he told him 4 predicate things. He said, have dominion and control. He didn't leave it for these Negro preachers, African-American preachers that won't tell the truth to interpret it. He said the dominion and control of the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, and of the land. And if we have become a people, that are just consumers and employees only, we're not even in tune with for the likeness and the image in which God created man. So I'll take a call. Maybe I slow up a little bit. But I'm here to say to all of the nationalities of individuals and of people, this is not a white, black, but I talk this type of way relative to talking specifically to African Americans that don't want to concede to this. They want to blame the killing and all of this stuff that's going on our young people, on their poor parents, and on rap music. And understand, I'm in defense of individuals that are in low income areas, their parents, whether they're poor or not, all of them are poor, as well as rap music. Because if you want to blame rap music, understand number one, that rap music is a modern day blues. They sung blues about the condition. that was going on. Number two, if you're going to blame rap music, you're putting the buggy before the horse. Because individuals like Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, they grew up in areas and they experienced the things that they rapped about afterwards. We offer hope because we're talking about $1 trillion actual potential. The market belongs to us, people. And understand that this is the problem, but I just want to point it out because up until this point, we want to try to blame our young people, but they haven't been involved with the selling of all of our enterprises, insurance companies, banks, everything, because we wanted to go other places. That's why it's important, because I want to get this other side out there that it's not the fault of those young people. They're a victim of the circumstances of what those 20 and 30 leaderships from Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson. Yeah, Al Sharpton, he can come out, like I said, we're Catonic people. When something bad happened, the brother in New York, that they choked the brother out, there's no way that I agree with that. I think that all of them, from the individual police officers that stood around and wanted to choke them, as well as the paramedics, I think all of them should pay. Even so, understand that before you cook meat, whether it's chicken, fish, or steak, you have to season it. And I say this, that when it comes to playing into the mindset that these police officers have, because they understand what they're dealing with, because they read about the arrest rate, the individuals that are, all of this stuff that's going on, and up to this point, all we do is blame them. So when they go in those areas, those low-income areas, they have that type of mentality. I think that they need to be retrained relative to, I believe this, when it comes to police officers, that you should do unto others as you will want done unto you. Or I would say that you should do unto others as you will want done unto your daughter, your cousin, your uncle. So if you approach whatever, I'm not saying to let your guard down. I'm not saying that. But if you approach those situations with that type of mindset and understanding that this is why they're in that condition, and right now they have hope. Please help us relative to this program, because they have hope of their own community cooperative marketplace. And we're talking about millions of dollars to start with. But we're talking about a concept that's not just good for here in Richmond, Virginia, but a concept that's good for the whole city of Richmond. And I want to at least get one call, so if you consider doing so, call in